Are you ready to upgrade to the home that fits your family best? Take the first step of that process by giving my girl Stacy Westfall a call. She's partnered with Apple Tree Realty in Howard County, where they have the knowledge and resources to help you reach your goals. Stacy has quickly become a successful realtor in our area, and I am so proud of her. She's not just a friend of mine, she's also a mother and a local firefighter. Buying and selling a house is stressful, and having someone professional and trustworthy in your corner can make all the difference. Give Stacy a call today at 765-461-1243 and follow her on Facebook at Stacy Westfall Realtor. This episode is sponsored by Nick Pate from State Farm.
This is Jonathan Keith, and you're listening to Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today's story is about a 13-year-old boy who went into the woods but never came out. Someone knows something.
Oh, mysterious.
It is. It is a mysterious case. I got to give a shout out. I don't want to name names because I want to keep you out of trouble, but we had one of our listeners refer this case to us.
I remember the emails. We got a couple emails about it.
We did. And I remember at the time, I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, we'll see what happens with time,
Well, I originally told them that I was kind of waiting to see because this is a fairly recent case. And I wanted to kind of see what was going on, and I had some questions, and I sent some messages and some emails and never heard back from anybody. So we were kind of just waiting, but we decided to go for it.
We're coming up on the 2-year mark. That's kind of when we talked about, we're going to make sure we get the story out there if it's not out there within 2 years. So it is definitely intriguing. Definitely one I'm going to think about. One that I think that there's going to be closure to eventually, but I have no idea how it's going to work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any announcements?
I do have a couple announcements. So we have recently learned that if you review our podcast, it is very healthy for the charts and the different ways that we can, the stats that we get for our podcast, very healthy in terms of where we rank.
Why are you calling it healthy? Helpful.
Healthy, helpful, same thing. It's good. It helps us. It helps us for where we rank in the Spotify charts and that stuff. Relax. So if
our podcast will be very healthy if you review us.
Yes.
That's weird. It would be very helpful if you left us a review, preferably a positive one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be. If you leave a negative review, it's still going to help us. But it just kind of helps us move up the charts a little bit, and it doesn't cost you any money. Even though subscriptions are only $5.
True.
If you would take a moment to give us a positive review, we will love it and cherish it, unless it's mean, which we did get a mean one, and it was really mean, and I was like, sir, goodbye, no one's making you listen to us. But the rest are really nice.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It helps us grow, so thank you.
How do they do it?
Taking the time
on wherever they listen?
Yep, you can do it on Apple or you can do it on Spotify. So yeah, there should be right now while you're listening, you can scroll down and see
5 stars. Thank you.
See an opportunity to leave a review. All right, so listen, I'm going to start this case a little differently than I've done cases in the past, than you've done cases in the past. And I'm actually going to give you the theories right now at the beginning.
Okay, then.
And I'll be honest, I've read through dozens of sources to this point, and these theories are not necessarily explicitly laid out. It's kind of we don't really know what happened. But in my opinion, it's there are 3 options.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to start with these 3 theories, and I want you to be thinking about which one you subscribe to by the end.
Okay.
All right.
I kind of like knowing my theories,
your
what
options,
I have to choose from at the beginning here. This is interesting.
All right. So theory number 1, a 13-year-old boy ran away to the mountains to live off grid, and he has been successful for 2 years now.
13-year-old boy?
Yes. That's theory number 1.
That's a terrible theory.
Theory number 2.
Actually, let me say, I would say part of that is a terrible theory. 13-year-old boy thinking he's smart enough to run off and live on his own, very plausible. Being successful at it for 2 years, not plausible.
Okay, well that's the whole part theory. That is,
okay,
there is no halfway there.
Okay.
Theory number 2, a 13-year-old boy ran away to the mountains to live off grid and was met with foul play.
Very possible.
Theory number 3, a 13-year-old boy ran away to meet up with someone else and that person is responsible for his disappearance.
Probably most plausible.
I agree. Like leading up, like looking at him just blank like that without knowing the story.
So Johnny took I looked, obviously we got an email from one of our listeners asking, so I know about this case, but Johnny was like, you don't know the details of it. So he took this one over. So,
Yeah.
but
I've been working on this for a few weeks.
I mean, I'm always going to give like the Bigfoot mountain people like some weight. So theory number 2 is plausible, but I would say number 3, like some like sinister like person finding a 13-year-old kid. Like, yeah, that's I'm going with number 3, but tell me what you got.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and tell the story now. We're going to Reedsburg, Wisconsin. The population. I got it, girl. Come on.
That's all I want.
You didn't even let me go here.
Dude, sidebar, one of our listeners messaged me a video, and it was a McDonald's Dollar General combo. And I was like, get me a caramel frap in the home decor section right now. Like, that is the combo right there. Like, there were, how there's like truck stops with like the Subway and the gas, like whatever. It was a Dollar General McDonald's combo. I don't know where it was, but that's genius. That is genius. All right, go ahead.
Jeez. Reedsburg, Wisconsin. They have 2 Dollar Generals. Nice. I had it ready to go. You still let me get there. 2 Dollar Generals, as they should. Go ahead.
11,000.
10.
10,000.
10,000. It was actually just a little bit over. It was like 10,100. So you're pretty close. Oh, wow. All right. So now listen. This case is not even 2 years old yet. We are a couple weeks away from being at the 2-year mark. So we're going back to June of 2023.
Okay.
13-year-old James Yoblonski, finishing up 7th grade. James loved being in the outdoors. He loved camping. He loved fishing. He also loved playing games online. Very strong-willed kid, quick to tell people when something was wrong. He was the second youngest of 4 children. He was the youngest boy. They also had a little sister. And they were all raised by their dad, Bill Yoblonski.
Interesting.
All right? Yeah.
Okay.
So on June 12th, his dad gets up to let the dogs out about 7:30 in the morning, which is also about what time my dog wakes me up every morning.
Do you have a question? Where's mom?
That is a great question. I do not know any details about mom. I don't know if she died. I don't know if she left. I don't know.
It's pretty
rare
is, for a dad.
I didn't see a word about mom in any, and I probably have read more sources on this one than I have in like a lot of cases.
Dang.
Never did it mention the mom.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like a no-no in like the reporting that goes on here.
That's really weird.
Yeah. All of the interviews and everything, it's always the dad. Like, mom has never been mentioned. So maybe she passed away before. I don't know. Maybe she left him. I don't know about mom. But that's a great question and one that I would like to know as well. So, anyways, June 12th, 7:30, dog needs to go out. As soon as he opens the door, he realizes that his van is not in the driveway.
Okay.
He then realizes that James is not home. Goes to call 911, and he recognizes that his phone is gone. He can't find his cell phone. You hear him on a security video that we'll talk about later, like frantically going outside and yelling like, the van's gone, James is gone, like, he's got my phone. So eventually he has to get like neighbors to help him call the police. So he calls the police and reports his son missing and the car gone. And the police are intrigued by this because they actually get a hit on a missing vehicle like very early. On Highway 12, there's an abandoned van, and they are looking for just reported an abandoned van. So within an hour, they are able to verify that this abandoned van was definitely the Yoblonski family vehicle.
Okay.
Out on Highway 12. So it, like, as the bird flies, it's probably only like 10 miles away from the house, but we're in mountains, so it's like not, so obviously they begin searching right there, and they also have a cell phone to look for, right? Like, they have cell phone records. It's 2023. Like, he reports them missing. He's like, also my phone's missing. So they're like, well, let's look into this. Let's look into the phone pings, obviously. And they're able to trace his movement and realize that the phone left the home around 1 a.m. and drove to Baraboo, which is where his dad had a business. James's dad, Bill Yoblonski, had a business there.
Okay.
So the phone went there, and then they realized, like, they go there. They're like, why did he come here? And they go and they realize that the handgun that he had there at the shop is missing.
Oh.
Yeah. Not good.
No.
And the pings then go from his business to, which I don't want to name his business just because rough situation.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's on like the west side of Baraboo. That's where it goes next after his business. That's where the vehicle was found.
Pretty much track him.
Yeah, well, yeah, for a while. And so then there's no cell phone data like after that. Like once he gets to where the van is, like that's pretty much the last little piece there. It's right outside of like, it's called a Devil's Lake State Park. And so like the van is in the last location or near the last location that they have the cell phone pings. And then it's nothing after that. They also had, the Yoblonskis had a security camera set up. I mentioned that a minute ago. And when they go back and look at this, they realize that at 1 a.m, you see James leave the house on his own, completely by himself.
Okay.
He's carrying a backpack and 2 like absolutely full duffel bags. He loads everything into the van by himself. And then 13-year-old James gets in the driver's seat and leaves.
He drives himself?
He drives himself. There's no one else ever seen on this video. He gets in the driver's seat and he drives away, and it looks like a 13-year-old trying to drive a car. like when he pulls away, it was kind of like, like he's like, in spurts. Like, oh, this is the gas. Like, how fast can I go?
He doesn't know how to like, run a car. Like, he does not know how to drive.
Yeah. And so again, that's at like 1 a.m. And the next day, like as they're seeing all this, they're hearing about the cell phone pings, they're hearing about the abandoned vehicle, they're looking at the security camera, like all this is happening like fairly quickly, right? I mean, like this, it's a lot of information to like understand in a very confusing situation. During all of that, I actually don't know if this was the same day that somebody came forward with the Snapchat video, but it was like pretty early on that they found the Snapchat video that he had sent, which I'm assuming this was with his dad's phone that he sent this. Like I never read anything about him having his own phone.
Okay.
So anyways, in this Snapchat video, it is a video of him driving. You cannot see his hands, but you can see like the steering wheel and like the dash and like that the vehicle is moving.
Okay.
And he says, I'm going to read it exactly line for line like he says it.
Okay.
He says, I'm sorry that for everyone who cares about me, it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's my fault. I chose to do it. I'm scared. I'm sad. I have no emotions anymore.
Okay.
So obviously, in seeing this, there is a real concern that this was a goodbye from James.
Yeah, that's very ominous.
Yeah. He had left in the middle of the night. He drove for what ended up being like 30 miles or so, like after he went to his dad's business and then when he went to like where the car eventually stopped.
It seems strange he would take all that stuff with him though if he was just going to go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what like,
why are we packing?
Yeah.
That's your plan?
Yeah. He has a gun. He posts this video. None of that looks good. But then also, like James's dad has some serious problems with this video. And he's like, James doesn't talk like this and like broken segments like that. And
those were like pause. I thought you were just reading it weird.
No, I read it the way he said it in the video.
I was like, why is he reading like this?
No, that's like how it was.
That is very choppy.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of strange.
And his dad is like, yeah, like that's weird. Like that doesn't sound right. And the dad says,
it sounded like he was like reading.
That's what dad says. Like dad said that it sounds like he is reading it. The dad 100% believes that someone talked James into doing this. And so when I watched the video, you can't see James's hands on the wheel, but the video shows that he's driving, like he's moving. So in my thoughts,
he's holding the phone.
That's what I'm saying. One hand is on the wheel, one hand is on the phone. I don't think he could necessarily be reading stuff while making a Snapchat video. But
especially when you don't even know how to drive a car in the first place.
Exactly.
Like he was struggling, right?
So then it's like, okay, was there someone else there? Was someone else holding the phone? Was somebody else showing what? I don't know. There's no evidence that ever points to a second person being in that car. So my opinion is that he did not read that. But the dad is like adamant about that he didn't say that. That's not how he talks. He didn't read that. So, I mean, but the police, think about the police's perspective now on this, right? We can't find, and they said this, which the dad did not like. They were like, we cannot find any evidence of criminal activity whatsoever. We have a video of him leaving on his own with packed bags. He took a phone, and that phone went to his dad's business. We have this on video. He ran away on his own, was potentially suicidal. Like, those are the facts. Those are all facts.
Okay.
So law enforcement and the family are not on the same page from here on out, because they're like, we don't have suspects. We don't have anything. We have a kid that left on his own, drove a car at 13, went to your business, stole your gun. Like, that's all we have. I should say they don't have video evidence of him taking the phone, but they have the phone tracking that went to, like, the phone pings showed that he went to his business. When they go and check out the business, they realize the handgun's missing, which he knew where it was. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth. But like you said, I can't help but think, like, why would you take a backpack, 2 duffel bags, your dad's phone, and survival guidebooks? That's also something else that was missing from the home. Like, if you plan to end your life.
Yeah.
You don't need a survival guidebook if you're planning to end your life. So they're in this place where they have all of these security cam footage videos. They have the Snapchat video, and they have nothing on him. So initially, it wasn't necessarily like easy to get searches that like went a long ways away. It's hard terrain, it's hot, whatever. So it took them a week to find anything, and so a week later, they find a campsite with some of James's items in the Devil's Lake State Park. Now, I read like several sources that talked about this campsite, and so in my head I'm picturing like a whole setup of like a fire and like everything and like clear evidence that somebody was camping there. That's not what it is. It's like a little flat piece of ground at the top of like a pretty steep hill where they found one of his duffel bags. And like there may have been other evidence that showed like, oh, he slept here and something like that. But like when you look at the pictures, you're like, that's a duffel bag in the woods. I don't see like a campsite.
He wasn't like set up camp here.
Yeah, it wasn't like he stayed here for an extended period of time. Correct.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at your work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.
So yeah, they just find this like duffel bag, which we know that he took 2 duffel bags and a backpack because that's what he had in the video. So in this backpack, though, or in this duffel bag, they find a whole bunch of James items. This included a phone charger, toilet paper, and a whole bunch of clothes. And again, like we mentioned, like if you were going to end your life, like why would you take any of that stuff? Why would you take toilet paper? If you, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, that doesn't line up. And also, so James' dad has a lot of issues with this duffel bag that was found as well. He says that the clothes that were in this duffel bag were clothes that James had but never wore. I mean, we all have those, right? Like we've got shirts that like, the shirt doesn't fit right, I never wear this, I don't like the shirt, whatever.
Pack 'em and take it with
That's
me.
what I'm saying. So like, why did he have this duffel bag full of stuff that he did not need? Like he's also in the like if you're going to go live off grid and live in the wilderness for an extended period of time, like you have a different plan for toilet paper.
So like, are we thinking that this first bag was like a decoy bag with like stuff that didn't matter?
So here's something else. You ready?
Like a genius?
I would love to know. I haven't read anything that talks about like his academic status or anything like that, but you know
I'm just saying, like, I mean,
it's a head scratcher.
Full-grown adults that can't fool the police like this.
Yes. Well, and so listen to this. They bring in search dogs. They give them the scent. The dogs go and they hit on the scent, like, boom, here the backpack, like the duffel bag that you're showing us. Mm-hmm. That's it.
They didn't pick up a scent?
There was no scent trail leading away from the bags.
Did they pick it up to his scent at all? Like, so maybe somebody else put the bag there.
The dogs did not lead them anywhere.
So then somebody else had to put the bag there.
That's what Dad says. Dad's like, somebody threw that bag up there as a decoy.
I was gonna say, I mean, if his scent wasn't there,
that's what James' dad said. He's like, somebody planted this bag, or else the dogs would like have a scent trail. And he's like, or there would be some kind of evidence of somebody camped here, they left here, they went this way, something. He's 13.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, he dropped his granola bar wrapper 10 feet away from, you know what I'm saying? Like, there would be something. There is nothing at all. And like I said, James's dad says that someone planted the bag there, and you know, there's somebody else involved. The police are still like, there's no evidence of anybody else being here though. Like, what? Like, it is weird. We hear that this is weird, but like, what are we supposed to do? Like, there is no footprints. There's nothing that says that James didn't run away on his own and go into the camp in the woods. That is all we have. We know he took a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. We know he drove a car. We know he went to your shop and got a gun. We know he went into the woods. And here we are with a bag of his stuff.
The gun, though, right?
No.
I read that at one point. I thought that they found the gun at the campsite.
I saw video pictures of all the stuff at the campsite, and I didn't see a gun.
So
yeah,
they found the
phone charger, clothes, toilet paper, and some like random things, like fidget spinner.
Has the gun and phone that we know of.
Oh, they found the phone. The phone was there too. The phone was there too. Yeah, sorry. The phone was there too. So again, apparently he doesn't need that phone anymore. Like, I mean, like, just all around weird. And so again, the police are like, we have no evidence pointing to anything other than that this kid went into the woods by himself and is camping out there. That is all we have. Like, the only evidence that we have points to that. And that narrative actually continues to get some backing when they look through all of his like devices, like his school iPad that he recently had.
Yeah.
All kinds of searches on living off grid and how to get across state lines, and like as a minor, like state lines as a minor, and like all of this different stuff that they're finding like on his searches.
Yikes.
Yeah. And his dad had survival books. I mean, it's not weird to me for somebody to have survival books or living off grid. Your dad probably has all kinds of crazy stuff about living off grid. And these were all missing when James went missing. So, like, he clearly took them with him. But, like, again, before we go any further with theory number one of the fact that, like, a kid ran away to the mountains and has been successfully living off grid for 2 years. Like, I have known a whole lot of 13-year-old boys. I was once a 13-year-old boy. And there is only one that I've ever known that I believe is capable for living by themselves in the woods.
I know what you're going to say.
Even for, like, let's just say, like, a weekend. Like, your brother Eli, I know he's never going to listen to this, but, like, at 13...
Yeah, and he probably could have.
I do believe that Eli could have lived in the woods on his own for, like, a minute.
100%.
Like, 100%.
But probably, I give him a week.
Out of, like, thousands of teenage 13-year-old boys, like, he is the only one that I personally know where I could be like, you have a chance.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have had a chance. I might have been confident enough.
I was going to say the confidence...
But
definitely would be there
go
for
do
most
it and then like be successful with it. But then like, even
but you're not just surviving.
That's what I'm saying.
You're eluding police.
Like even Eli could survive, but I don't think he would be able to like successfully cover his tracks everywhere to the point where investigators cannot possibly find him.
I mean, so there was a lot of searches.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. I mean, yes. Searches, they can't find anything. It's been 2 years. They still can't find anything. I just have the hardest time in the world believing that a 13-year-old boy was capable of this. Mm-hmm. Like, someone, in my opinion, someone else absolutely has to be involved.
Okay, so then that being said, my next question would be, like, did he meet someone online as they like basically kidnapped, like, so he left willingly, but then once he got there, like, he realized like, oh, I'm actually being kidnapped, and now he's like being held against his will, or he was taken somewhere against his will.
So the dad believes, because he played a lot of online games.
So time out. This is like giving me like, remember Aisha Degree?
Yes.
How she ran away willingly?
Yes.
But then they think that maybe she was like going to meet somebody. And then once that person got her, they like did something.
I mean,
bad.
the difference between that case and this case is like, this kid clearly has like outdoors experience, and he went packing. Like, he packed and was prepared.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, Aisha Degree like packed a bag and left her house on her own in the middle of the night.
For sure.
And they think that somebody had like groomed her.
Yeah.
So like,
so
is
this
that
is
a
a similar
possibility
situation.
here?
The dad believes, because he played so many online games,
Oh yeah, like,
that he had been talking to someone, but again, they were never able to like find this like in computers or anything, which I don't know how good a 13-year-old kid can be covering up those tracks.
Well,
Maybe pretty good. But he somehow,
well, Snapchat, that deletes everything. Like, if he met somebody and was talking to him on there,
yeah, I mean,
there's so many that's like the least of my like questions. I think that would be the most easily explained away. Like, there's so many apps and stuff. If he was talking to somebody online, I mean, he could have thought it was another 13-year-old. Like, hey, let's run away together. And it actually was some creepy man in his basement somewhere. Like, that could easily, like, that could have been deleted or hidden or whatever, and the police could never find that.
I think it's a great theory, and that's the dad's theory.
That's what the dad
again
thinks.
Like, theory number 3 is that yes, he ran away on his own, but somebody
Thinking
else
he
is
was
involved.
running away with like a friend or something, and then when he got there, he realized, oh no, and he's can't get out of this situation.
And the thing is, though, like, they're also like, the dad was basically like, I can't see him doing that at all. Also, like, if he did,
the dad said he didn't even know he had Snapchat though. So,
yeah,
I mean,
the dad was like, I can't see him doing that at all. But even if he did, I can't believe he didn't tell anybody. I can't believe he didn't like tell somebody, like one of his friends or one of his siblings, or like he just talked to people. He just like told them about things all the time. and so like, it's, I don't know, but yeah, so that theory number 3 of,
I like that one.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep moving forward with that one. Someone else has to be involved. Like, in my opinion, theory number 1 scrapped.
Yeah.
But who is the other someone? And I'm not gonna lie, there are some circles that think the dad could be involved.
I was gonna say, from what I've read online, there's some sketchy things going on with the dad.
So
I will say it is convenient that like the vehicle was found and his phone was found. 2 things that he would not want to lose. Like, I
mean, I'm sure the police like kept his phone. Like, I would let him keep my phone at this point, but I don't know. But like, so there's no evidence to my knowledge that supports this, like, that the police have ever said. Like, the police and the dad do not get along strictly because
they don't agree.
They don't have any evidence to pursue somebody else, so they're not. And the dad's like, this is dumb. Like, it should have been handled differently because, yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, there are some reports of some like botched efforts and search parties, as in like he scheduled a search party and then he like canceled it. It didn't happen. And there was like some people that are like trying to help, and he's like not necessarily like either not communicating well or like not organizing it well or just not handling it well with like search parties. So like, I don't know the more details about that. I just know that that's, you would think you would be in that situation and you'd be like, whatever I can do to help, like whatever I can do to get people looking for my kid. Also something that I've not read anybody point this out ever. This is just Detective Johnny right here, bringing my own thoughts to it. The first time I watched the security tape footage of the morning, I didn't like it.
Why?
Because, and again, we don't know what's happening inside the house. The frantic, where's James, all that stuff that's happening in the house. I can't imagine what that would be like. But his words when he comes out on the security camera are, the van is gone and James is gone and he took my phone.
Who's he saying this to?
Like, he's just like yelling it as he's like outside. I don't know. He eventually has to get the neighbors to help him because he doesn't have a phone to call 911 with.
But why is he just like why the heck do you even care about your phone? Like,
I mean, I get it because you're trying to call 911. Like, that's why you care about your phone.
Okay.
But like, I don't like how he like knows or assumes that James took his phone.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I think if I woke up tomorrow morning and Truman was gone and my truck was gone
I misplaced
and my
my
phone
phone,
was
where is
gone, my assumptions would be someone else took Truman and my car, and my phone they took that, or I lost it or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's really
honestly,
weird.
my assumption would be that I lost my phone. But like, then again,
It's really weird timing to be like,
he took my phone. Now, I don't know. Maybe James frequently took his phone. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but even then, that's just a weird thing to voice.
Like, his
it's a weird
exact
time.
words were, the van is gone, James is gone, he took my phone.
But also, who is he saying this to?
I mean, he's
That's
like,
weird
he's
to me that
he's like
he's-
waking up everybody in his house. He's outside looking around. Like,
There's nobody in his house except kids, right?
I mean, he's got older siblings.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't know.
The
He's just like
security
yelling.
camera outside is where he heard you got.
Yes.
Is what he said it on.
Yes, it shows because he.
It's just a weird thing to run outside, see that your car's gone, and be like, I mean, he wasn't actually talking.
And he has to
anybody.
get neighbors like involved. So I don't know if he's like yelling it to a neighbor. I don't know, but because like the security camera, he let his dogs out at 7:30,
Say no.
and so like his dog, like the security camera is picking up his dog like going through the yard while this is happening.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't like that. But I will say that like his dad took a polygraph, which he didn't have to do, and he passed it. I've watched a lot of videos and interviews with his dad. He seems genuinely sincere. He like in the oh gosh, what is the show called that I told you? It's called America's Most Wanted Missing People. They did like a segment on this, and I mean, they seem to strongly believe that he, is genuinely looking for his son and like genuinely cares about his son. That is what I see too. I don't see like somebody I don't trust that's lying in those videos. So I am off of the train of it being the dad. I just do not like the way things came out. I can't imagine being in that situation. So I'm just like giving him the benefit of the doubt based on, that's a hard situation. I can't imagine what you'd be thinking. And the police also do not think the dad did it, even though they like don't get along. There's like arguments over evidence that hasn't been released and different things like that. When I say evidence, like the stuff that they found, like his duffel bag and different things, like he's like, I want that back, like we need it, it's that kind of stuff. So like when we get back to the theories, again, I'm going to read them off. Theory number 1, a 13-year-old boy ran away to the mountains to live off grid and has been successful for 2 years. Theory number 2, a 13-year-old boy ran away to the mountains to live off grid and was met with foul play, like out in the mountains. Theory number 3, a 13-year-old boy ran away to meet up with someone else, and that person is responsible for his disappearance. At this point, what do you think?
I think somebody talked him into leaving.
Theory number 3.
Yes.
The police have nothing to go on except for theory number 1. Like
there's nothing like to make them think
there
that,
is
so.
zero evidence other than common sense, which is circumstantial, that he did not run away to the mountains and is still out there living there, like in the mountains. Like initially that's what they believed. And they were like, he's got cell phone pings near Devil State Park. That's where like the car was found. Like the last ping was like shortly after he took the car there. It was near Devil Lake State Park. They found the campsite up there. The other stuff that was found there.
A term that was loosely
termed. And again,
campsite.
there's
Looks
no
like a spot he put his bag.
There was no, and I found no detailed report as to why they called it a campsite. Like maybe they did find a spot where, okay, so clearly somebody's been laying here. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But the pictures, it's like that's just a bag in the woods. So like all of that's well and good. Like I understand that's initially what you have, but at this point it has been 2 years.
So a lot
2
of
years.
things I saw too, I don't know if you looked into this, but like that it's not really that like it's a dense forest, but like it's not really like somebody said you really can't go too far without hitting like a farm or a road or like stuff like that. They said it wasn't actually that like remote, I guess.
So here's the thing. So it's like 13 miles away from Wisconsin Dells, where things get like a lot more dense, and there's a lot more like maybe not dense isn't the right word, but a lot more like wilderness with like mountains and like just different, like, I don't know if there's caves there. There might be, like, when I was looking up.
I saw there's a lot of caves and a lot of places where someone could fall, but they also said like it's not like a place where you could like
go live off grid.
Yeah. Like there's just a lot of people already there.
And so from the pictures that I'm looking at, this kind of like space between Devil's Lake State Park and Wisconsin Dells, like there's towns and cities in there, but there's also a lot of wilderness.
Okay.
So again, I don't like it either, but that's an option. And so with that option in mind, I've got a little nugget for you. One more little nugget for you.
Okay.
I don't see anyone putting stock in this online, but just listen to it and tell me what you think. All right. So 3 years before James's disappearance, there was a brutal stabbing in Devil's Lake State Park. A man was hiking alone and was killed. Now, nobody actually saw it happen, but there were several people, as in like a dozen or so people, that saw a man running frantically through the park. He was falling down. His clothes were torn up. Like he had, like the holes were torn out of his pants, or the knees were torn out of his pants. He was wearing like a hoodie or a hat. They couldn't really tell if it was a hoodie and a hat or both or what. But like several people saw this guy running through the park around the same time that John Schmutzer was murdered on October 14th, 2020.
Who?
Over 150 tips came out about like the person that was seen running and like things that they had heard and seen and the weird things they'd seen in the park and like all this stuff that centered around this guy and who this guy could be.
So a crazy man was seen running through the park looking disheveled.
Yes.
The moment someone was stabbed to death?
Yes. And so like it's
the same park that James went missing.
100% believe that this person that they call the runner, because they don't know who it was.
Ew,
they
that's
call
awful.
the runner. They believe that this guy stabbed and killed John Schmutzer. I mean, he was by himself.
They never found him?
They have 30 pieces of evidence logged that they believe point to who this person is, but they have found nothing. Nothing that has even led to a suspect.
Ew.
So my question is like, who is this guy? And is he living off grid in the mountains?
And this was 2 years before James went missing?
A little bit less than 3 years. Yeah, so like 2.5 years.
Gross.
So like I can't help but wonder if we're dealing with a crazy mountain person, and I can't help but wonder if James ran into a similar situation.
Have crazy mountain people in Wisconsin?
Like you're saying, it's nothing like the Appalachian Mountains.
No, I just looked at it on Google Earth. There's a lot of roads.
Yeah.
It's like is what I'm seeing. Like it is a forest, but like you wouldn't be able to like if you took off walking, like it might be like some rough terrain, but like you're gonna hit a road eventually.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're never gonna see like signs of humankind again. Like
right.
There's a lot of like roads and like resorts.
If you wanted to get out, you could get out. But what I'm wondering is if you wanted to stay hidden, is it big enough to stay hidden?
I don't know.
But all I know,
it's just not as vast as like the
correct. All I know is that James went out there with 3 bags and a whole bunch of supplies. He was planning on being wherever he went for a long time. He had a gun. But I do not think he actually has been like pulling off this off-grid life for 2 years by himself.
Not here.
No. I think the mountain person is a long shot theory, but I can't. It's what I'm saying. It's there. Definitely. Like on the percentages of possibilities, it's bigger than the theory number 1 of him being successful for 2 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think if there was an accident, we'd know by now. Like if he fell off a cliff or something, like I think we'd know by then. Like there's been enough searches and it's been long enough. I mean, they took cadaver dogs. Yeah. They took cadaver dogs through everything and didn't find anything. So I think it has to be theory number 3. Someone else is involved and someone knows something. This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.
At Go Digital, we like to help our customers tell their unique story. My name is Wayne Stanley, and I'm the owner and founder of Bo Digital, and I'm here to share some of our story with you. When I was a kid, I would go around my grandparents' house and find things of theirs that I treasured, and I would put a tablecloth on their couch, and I would set up my own store. I would sell their belongings back to them, and I guess at that point, that's kind of when I knew I wanted to own my own business one day. Bo Digital is actually named after those grandparents, Glenn Vernon and Shirley Bow. They would be proud of the work that we're doing and the legacy that we're leaving through this company. Bo Digital can help companies of any shape and size, anywhere in the world, with custom marketing work. From logos, websites, social media content, newsletters, and video, we offer the exact custom resources and services that your small business needs. It can be hard for small business owners to spend time on marketing when everything else is calling their attention. That's what we're here for. Your marketing deserves a pro, so be sure to put a bow on it. I am proud that we help companies of all shapes and sizes and budgets of every scope. So be sure to visit bodigital.com so that we can help you with your story today, or engage with us on social media and see what we're all about.